Hey guys, this is Mythos Gamer back for our second game of Arkham Horror. This time we're going to change things up a little bit. We're still using just the base set, but we're going to use some different investigators and a different angel and try to change things up and maybe have some scenarios that were a little different from the first game. This way maybe people who are new to the game will have a better understanding of some rules that didn't quite get covered in the first game. So let's move on to our investigators and see who we got. Alright, for our first investigator we have Harvey Walters. He starts off with 7 sanity and 3 stamina. He begins in the administration building. He has the strong mind ability. He reduces all sanity losses he suffers by 1 to a minimum of 0. I want to point out real quick, this is sanity losses, not sanity costs. So anything that costs sanity, he still has to pay for. But as far as a horror check, stuff like that, this will reduce it by 1. He starts the game off with $5 and 1 clue token, 2 unique items, 2 spells, 1 skill. He has 2 focus, and stat-wise we're starting him off with a speed of 3, sneak of 2, a fight of 2, a will of 1, a lore of 5, and a luck of 2. Let's move on to his items and see what we get. Alright, for his first unique item we got an enchanted knife, a magical weapon, plus 3 to combat checks. For his second unique item we got the enchanted jewelry. Any phase, you can put 1 stamina token from the bank on enchanted jewelry to avoid losing 1 stamina. If there are 3 stamina tokens on it, discard enchanted jewelry. That's pretty interesting that we got this with Harvey Walters. It kind of makes him into a miniature tank, at least for the first 3 hits, with him able to absorb some stamina losses and some sanity losses with his own special ability. For his first spell, we got the Dread Curse of Azathoth. It has a casting modifier of -2, a sanity cost of 2, it's a magical spell, in any phase you can cast it, and exhaust to gain +9 to combat checks until the end of combat. A pretty powerful spell. It does cost 2 sanity, which again isn't reduced by his ability, but he does have a starting sanity of 7, so he should make pretty good use of this. His other spell he starts off with is the Shriveling, a casting modifier of -1, sanity cost of 1, a magical spell, in any phase he can cast and exhaust to gain +6 to combat checks until end of combat. So he got 2 offensive spells, so he should be a pretty tough guy to deal with. For his skill we got Fight. It gives +1 to fight, and when you spend a clue token to add any fight check you add 1 extra bonus die. This is actually pretty good for Harvey. Even topped out, the maximum fight he can have is 3. So this increasing it plus getting him more bonus from his clue tokens is actually pretty significant. And now on to our second investigator, Carolyn Fern. She starts off with 6 sanity and 4 stamina. She begins the game in the asylum. She has the ability, Psychology. Dr. Fern may restore 1 sanity to herself or another character in her location. She cannot raise a character's sanity higher than that character's maximum sanity. She starts off with $7, 1 clue token, 2 unique items, 2 common items, and 1 skill. She has a focus of 2, with a speed of 3, a sneak of 0, a fight of 3, a will of 2, a lore of 2, and a luck of 5. Her first unique item is the Holy Water. It's a magical weapon that gives +6 to combat that you have to discard after use. Her second unique item is the Lamp of Al-Razad. It's a magical weapon that gives +5 to combat checks. So far we're getting some pretty offensive items. Her first common item is the 45 automatic. Arguably one of the better common weapons in the base set. It's a physical damage with +4 to combat checks. Her second common item, the Old Journal, a tomb. During movement you can exhaust and spend 1 movement point to make a lore -1 check. If you pass, gain 3 clue tokens and discard Old Journal. If you fail, nothing happens. And finally, her skill, Marksman. Any phase you can exhaust to reroll a combat check. And now for our third investigator, Jenny Barnes. She starts off with 6 sanity and 4 stamina. She begins at the train station and she has the ability Trust Fund. During the upkeep, she gains $1 every turn. She starts off with $10, 2 common items, 1 unique item, 1 spell, and 1 skill. She has a focus of 1, a speed of 3, a sneak of 1, a fight and will of 3, a lore of 2, and a luck of 4. For her unique item, we got the Sword of Glory, a magic weapon with +6 to combat checks. For her first common item, we got a Derringer, a physical weapon with +2 to combat checks. It cannot be lost or stolen. Her second common item, a Dynamite, physical weapon that gives +8 to combat checks, but you have to discard it after you use it. For her spell, we got Bind Monster, a casting modifier of +4, costs 2 sanity. Any phase, cast and discard this spell to pass 1 combat check. You must roll successes equal to the monster's toughness to cast the spell. This spell does not work on ancient ones. And finally, she got the Luck skill, +1 to Luck. When you spend a clue token to add to any luck check, add 1 extra bonus die. Our fourth investigator, Ashcan Pete, starts with 4 sanity and 6 stamina. He begins at the river docks. He has the Scrounge ability. When Pete draws from the common item, unique item, or spell deck, he may draw from either the top or the bottom of the deck, his choice. He may look at the bottom card of those decks at any time. He begins the game with $1, 3 clue tokens, the ally card Duke, 1 common item, 1 unique item, and 1 skill. He has a focus of 1, starting with a speed and sneak of 3, a fight of 4, a will of 3, a lore of 0, and a luck of 3. This is the ally Duke. He gives +1 to maximum sanity, and you can discard to immediately restore your sanity to its maximum value. His starting unique item, the King in Yellow, is a tomb. During movement, exhaust and spend 2 movement points to make a lore -2 check. If you pass, gain 4 clue tokens, lose 1 sanity, and discard. If you fail, nothing happens. His common item, the Lucky Cigarette Case. Any phase, you can discard Lucky Cigarette Case to reroll any 1 skill check. And his skill, Stealth. Any phase, exhaust to reroll an evade check. This is their starting positions on the board. Carolyn at the top at Arkham Asylum. Jenny also at the top at the train station. Ashcan at the river docks. And Harvey at the administration. For our ancient one, we'll be using Nyarlathotep. He has the 1,000 Masks ability. At the start of the game, add the 5 mask monsters to the cup. Multiple mask monsters can be in play at once. If you begin battle with him, any investigator with no clue token is devoured. Worshippers. Nyarlathotep has innumerable cults all over the world. Cultists have the Endless ability. I also want to point out, he has magic resistance. We did draw a lot of magic and magical items. Nyarlathotep has a doom track of 11. I want to point out the 5 mask monsters that are going to be added to our cup. They're all pretty nasty. The first one is the God of the Bloody Tongue, a +1 to sneak. However, -3 to horror checks, -4 to combat, 4 toughness, endless, overwhelming 1, nightmarish 1. Our second mask monster is the Black Man. He has a -3 to sneak modifier. The Endless ability. Before making a horror check, pass a luck -1 check or be devoured. If you pass, gain 2 clue tokens. In either case, return the Black Man to the cup. Looks like we're definitely going to have to make sure our luck stays pretty high this game. The Bloated Woman. A -1 to sneak modifier. The Endless ability. Before making a horror check, pass a will -2 check or automatically fail the horror check and the combat. The Dark Pharaoh. A -1 to sneak modifier. The Endless ability. Use lore in combat with the Dark Pharaoh instead of fight. And finally, Haunter of the Dark. A flying monster with -3 to sneak. The Endless ability. If the Blackest Night card is in play, Haunter of the Dark Spite rate increases to -5. Our first Mythos card, Manhunt in Arkham. We'll be putting a gate at the woods. Our first gate is Yuggoth. We're removing our clue token. A clue appears at Independent Square. I didn't bother drawing a monster because I already know what this card does. All monsters in locations are returned to the cup. Well, this will give us a little easier of a start, going around trying to get clue tokens, but I would have much rather drawn this later on when one of those mask monsters are in play. Oh well. Before we move on to our first turn, there's a few things I wanted to point out. A couple key differences between the first game and this game. The first game, our investigators started off with 8 clue tokens. This game we're starting off with 6. That may not seem like a huge difference, but you may have noticed these investigators have a maximum speed value of 3. They're moving around the table a lot slower. Additionally, we can't go crazy sealing gates just in case the Ancient One wakens up. He has the ability to where if he wakes up and someone doesn't have 1 clue token, they're devoured automatically. So be really careful on how we do this. Also, we drew a lot of magical items. We're going to be very careful spending our money trying to get some regular items just to fight off the Ancient One in case he does wake up.